Hi, and welcome back to Beans and Bezels. I've reviewed two watches from the Ickler parent group, the Archimede Outdoor Protect 39 and the Lume Endurance GMT. Ickler makes their watches in-house and have built a solid reputation for building excellent cases. Defakto was founded by Raphael Ickler, and his specialty is in designing and manufacturing minimalist watches that are driven primarily by practical and clean design. Raphael also now manages Lume, but it appears that Defakto is his brainchild, and one that he runs as a one-man operation. The Kinetik is in my opinion their best design. The Kinetik was given a minor facelift recently and is now one of my favorite watch designs from 2020. Each dial element was chosen for a reason and every single element has a purpose. I was thoroughly impressed when I saw this watch for the first time, and I want to thank Raphael for promptly sending me one to review. Let's check it out. The build quality of the case is excellent, as you would expect from a brand under the Ickler umbrella. The case measures 39mm in diameter, 45mm from lug to lug, and 9.8mm in height. This watch is offered in a PVD coated black and a brushed stainless steel option. While the black case is more cohesive, I think the stainless steel looks great too, and doesn't dramatically change the design aesthetic. The case is not designed to be a dress watch and is more in the line of some of Archimede's Flieger cases, good for a casual everyday watch. You have short lugs that curve down towards the wrist with a 20mm lug width and no drill-through holes. There is a very nicely executed bezel that seats the sapphire crystal. The sapphire crystal is flat and has AR coating on the lower surface. Similar to the two other Ickler watches that I've reviewed, the push-pull crown on this watch is a pleasure to operate. The dimensions and grip are perfect, it is finished well and feels robust with no crown or stem wobble. Flipping it over, you have a screw-down case back with an exhibition window. This watch is rated for up to 50 meters of water resistance. As with most minimalist design watches, the dial is the canvas and each stroke is made carefully and with purpose. This dial design just ticks all the right boxes for me in terms of clean, legible and practical design, and even throws in some creative and intelligent design elements. The base of the dial is media blasted and then coated with a simple layer of black paint. The result is a matte texture onto which all the dial elements are printed. There is an outer minute track printed in white with reasonably sized ticks that are easy to read. Instead of longer ticks for each increment of 5, which does hurt the symmetry a bit, you have a very clever set of inner ticks for the hour markers. I think this is neat and is one of my favorite aspects of the dial. I opted to review the standard model, which features the brand's logo under the 12 o'clock. While I do enjoy dials without any logos on them, I think this logo adds a bit of personality to the watch and I prefer this. The handset is my second favorite aspect and has some ingenious design work at play. Both the hour and minute hands are skeletonized rectangles that are painted white and coated with lume. The lengths of each hand are selected carefully to accurately hover over the minute and hour markers respectively. I love this. It's a pleasure to read the time, especially when the minute and hour markers line up perfectly. Another accent that I appreciate is the red seconds hand that is actually lumed reddish orange as well. The hand is the only element of color here, and the fact that this colored element is retained even in the dark is just wonderful. Overall, I love this dial and I think each element is absolutely perfect. I wouldn't change a single thing about this. The quality of finishing across the dial is very good and I'd give it about 90%. I don't typically expect any lume, let alone good lume on a watch like this, but I was surprised to find the amazing lume design on the dial. All the dial elements apart from the logo are lumed. The minute markers and hour markers are lumed with BGW9 and they're quite bright and last for a reasonable amount of time. The surface area makes it impossible to stay bright throughout the night, but you'll definitely have some visibility 3 to 4 hours into the dark. The hour and minute hands are also lumed with BGW9 and are slightly brighter than the dial markers. The hands look amazing when they glow. The seconds hand is also lumed and it glows in an orange reddish color. I think the lume design on this watch is incredible, and even though it may not last as long as a dive watch, they've really outdone themselves here. This watch uses an ETA 2824-2 movement. Usually with a design-focused watch like this, you'll see brands taking the cost-effective approach and they'll use cheaper movements like the Seiko NH35 or a Miyota 8 series. But Defakto are using a good movement here and that's nice to see. The movement is visible thanks to the exhibition window and it appears to be reasonably clean for the price you're paying. There is a ghost date position which isn't uncommon for a watch like this, and I don't mind it at all. I logged the accuracy of this watch over a 2-day period and observed roughly plus 4 seconds per day. As you would expect, the 39mm diameter and 45mm lug-to-lug width fit great on my 6¼ inch wrist. The roughly 10mm height is also a treat, only made more easy on the wrist thanks to the 60-gram weight. The case back is slightly curved, but the lugs also curve down towards the wrist, so the watch sits low and is well balanced. No problems with comfort whatsoever, and I think this watch will look great on larger wrists too. The watch is sold on a handmade leather strap. I don't often like stock straps, but in this case I think the simple style and comfortable material makes it the perfect strap for this watch. This watch is perfect for someone who appreciates good design and values good design more than fancy applied indices, vibrant sunburst dials, extravagant lume, and exotic complications. This watch is incredibly easy to read but also avoids the sterile, soulless aesthetic that some minimalist watches have. Personally, I like having the logo on the dial, and between that and the red seconds hand, I think there's enough personality and identity here. At roughly $800, including shipping to the USA, this isn't an inexpensive watch. But even if you break it down, you're getting a very good case made by one of the most respected manufacturers, a very good and reliable movement, and most of all, a dial design that just works. And let's not forget the terrific lume layout. So I think this one may be a tough stretch for the casual watch shopper, but an easy purchase for someone who appreciates this design. As always, thanks for watching, and don't forget to read the full review in the link below.